7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to IdiOtBlog 355. I am Idiot Burns. And this is Lobotomy Truck. This is the album, Whimsically Macabre. Find this user at bandlab.com/ALF0. Now, I don't know, is this an original or a cover? It feels like I already know it. Is it because I listened to it once and already dropped a like? But why did I do it for the first time as well? So let's just give it a listen. It looks like I'm live on my regular old page. I got it to work. Now I can share it to a specific group. There we go. I like that. Welcome to my blog. Today what we're doing is we're listening to some BandLab artists as usual. And we're going to talk about some of the things we do to get that. I'm not saying that live sound like you're live at a club, but that live sound like it's popping out of the speakers. Like those amps could be right there in the room. That alive kind of live sound. How you bring the sound in as hot as possible. What I do to do that, how I put multiple steps in the process instead of just having my guitar mic go right into my interface. What do I do to make it? What do I do to make my sound come alive? Let me go ahead and switch this in accessibility and in audio visual to mono. There you go, get a little volume boost when you do that, because you hear both sides. So, that's a catchy tune. Lobotomy Truck. He's like a grunge artist, if you will. You can find him at bandlab.com/ALF0. Let me go ahead and share this on my BandLab page. While I am streaming to one of my BandLab pages, the IdiOtBlog page, I like to also share this too. I like to share it to the page where I got a lot of followers. So here we go. Get that share on. Read a post. Featuring at ALF0. That's nice. No doubts. When you were what, 16? Or for me, 38. Here we go. I like it. I'm gonna read a little bit on the little bit of the description on the album page now. Demo album, mostly about depression, but the first song is kind of about the hypocrisy of the religious right, and the last song is political. Voices and Pigs are the heaviest songs, and No Doubt and Heroes of the Absurd are the least heavy. We're listening to No Doubt right now, not the band No Doubt, the track No Doubt by the artist Lobotomy Truck on BandLab. So I've got this simulcast going where you can watch me on BandLab Live video, YouTube Live video, or on my Facebook page. Back when there was no doubt in me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I like this one. This is something that would get played in the Seattle radio station late night one night, like a couple songs after the countdown on 107.7 The End in the 90s, and people would have heard it, started requesting it, and before you know, it'd be like number 5 on the requests for a week and then disappear. It's one of those songs that people would like. That's what I'm getting at. Alright, it's an explicit track. Uh-oh. Excuse my chewing. Enjoying myself. Some Pringles. Why not? This was nice.
Think something's eating me, and I can't breathe or sleep, and I don't know why, but I think I'm dying. Yeah, I think I'm dying. I think I've lost control of my anemic soul. No matter what I say, it fails to make me whole. Think something's chasing me, and there's no end I see. But with the way things look,
So, most equipment we use to record as recording artists has little visual meters for clipping. Sometimes they'll be green and go red. Sometimes they'll be green, go yellow, and go red. But the thing I do to get that live, in-your-face sound takes a few elements. The first element is you can't have your equipment or your voice be too quiet. It's gotta be loud. You've got to be loud to begin with. If you want it to sound alive and in your face, it's gotta be loud. Now, if you're trying to make a soft-sounding song, it does not need to be loud. But if you're trying to make a harder-sounding, alive-sounding song, you're gonna want that. Dynamics aside, Now, when it comes to playing a soft part, you play a soft part. When it comes to playing a hard part, you play it hard. But the volume of the amp needs to be right at that edge where if you turn it up anymore, you're going to get feedback. That's not true on a bass, but that's definitely true. I mean, a bass is that can actually a lot of bass sounds can sound good on the direct out of the amp. To be honest, it's not that hard to get a good direct sound on a bass. It's actually harder to get a good mic'd sound on a bass because it requires using something like a kick mic and an SM57 to get that real deep sound. Or I would recommend an Audix. I think they're called D6, but they might be lower D something. The kick drum mics by Audix, the lower range ones, that's great. A low tom mic, if you want to call it that. Those mics are fine enough to get a result of low end and enough of the high end. But you'll probably want to couple it with a direct out and see, and kind of give those two a mix. Another thing that's important is having something in between your interface and your microphone. That could be just a simple single channel preamp. I don't care how nice your preamps. Well, if you got a really nice $1,000 setup, you might be okay. I still recommend this. You want to use a nice preamp into a preamp. You want to step them up. And the reason for that is if you step up a lot of the gain or microphone gain or whatever you want to call it in that mixer, and you get the gain to where it doesn't overfeed the input to, you get that, you got the input knob on your mixer, go all the way when you're chugging load E, or you're maybe want to do the 7th fret because for some reason that's the loudest fret on lowest string 7th fret, but you want to get that, hit those resonant frequencies for your cab and setup in room, and just pound it out. Do some Deftones and do those muted power chords and see where it clips, and roll it back just a little bit. Roll that input gain knob back so you're not seeing any red. Then go to your volume faders or fader. I don't know what kind you have on your mixer or preamp, and then you fade that up until you're getting to that yellow, but you're not getting those reds. No matter what, never a red. Now you route the output of that mixer into your device, even if it's just for one mic and it's just one output into your device, and you're going to notice that when you had your mic plugged in, the preamp on your device was like this, pointing almost somewhere in this range, over the halfway point or at the halfway point. And now, since you have your preamp work being done by a different preamp and or mixer, you're going to have it in this side of the knob down here. For instance, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 notches on this, and it's on 1.7. If I had the mic directly in, it'd be on 8. Okay? So that's a way to get that alive sound going in to your setup. If you've got that alive sound going into your setup, that is going to provide you with the attack and the dynamic range you're desiring. Your waveform coming in, it's going to look like about a third to half of the ability of the able to use waveform. It's not going to clip. It's going to be in that. It's not going to be so small you can't barely. It just looks like a stick going down there with dead spots. It's going to be a very dynamic looking. Half of the area you can see the visual waveform is going to be filled. Maybe a third, somewhere in that range. The middle third or half with like a quarter on both sides, and it won't. And the peaks won't even get close to touching the edge of that full waveform. Now you have all those. and you push them together, when you push those together, that's gonna also change it. You're gonna want that final output to be just like that, almost clipping. Dare I say, just about clipping, or just barely clips. Almost clipping, I'll say, is better. And when you juice it up that way with multiple steps, you're gonna get a louder, liver sound. When it comes to recording with a mic like this, instead of a dynamic microphone right on the location that barely hears anything behind it, and just in SPLs of the cab going are going to keep any noise from coming in, any room noise or any white noise from coming in. When you're using something like this, you're going to get white noise from behind. You're going to get reverberation from the set. Let me move this back up there. Where is that? Hey, where'd it go? There it is. Got distracted. A piece of my foam is missing. Put that right back right there. Oh yeah, there you go. There's just this little spot between my shit where there's a wall that just will bounce the sound right back. When it's not there, you can, if it was no music, you'd definitely be able to tell this little bit of sibilance comes in. So, you're gonna have white noise and sibilance when you use a microphone like this. So what you wanna do is you wanna use restraint. You don't want to go to that point where you're just about popping. If you look at my DAW, you'll see that the input of this music is all the way down on 2, right? And it's basically staying green. Even between most of those chords with no other instruments and stuff, it's staying green, just kind of fading away. With the other one, it's barely getting, that other one's green, almost yellow, right? This other one here with my voice, it's barely getting to the green. Now in the DAW, the voice is way cranked up and the music is halfway down. And that's called mixing. So mixing, that's gonna help, that's gonna be important too, because you don't want the things to be fighting. You want the things, what's up, idiot? Broken idiot on the house, man. Man, I gotta go to your page. I didn't go to your page, and I wanted to go to your page and catch that track you did on the metallurgic track, the nickel plated one or whatever it is. So I'm gonna go find that. I'll go find it after tonight. We're listening to Lobotomy Truck. You can find them at bandlab.com/ALF0. We are on simulcast on Facebook, BandLab, and YouTube. And we're talking about getting a very alive sound in your mix. Now, when it comes to the vocal side of it, you don't need it to be as alive. You want it to be crisp. You'll do most of the work for the vocals in the mix. And it's going to involve turning down all that stuff you got real hot and alive sounding enough so that you don't have to overwork the volume of the input of this in the mixer and here. Keep them easy on these guys. Don't go full bore. If I look over here where I'm talking it, I got 1, 2, 3 green and yellow and a couple of red. I want it never hitting yellow from this piece, but the music can hit the yellow. The guitars can hit the yellow. The drums are so much tastier when you got them to that almost max preamp ability. You've got to push real drums, not real drums. Electronic drums, you don't want to do that. You will be drowning out your vocals in 808 sounds and a rap beat. You'll be drowning yourself out. You'll need to use some sort of filter. But, that being said, it's not unheard of to get a good clip going on a drum sound. Not so much the snare, definitely not so much the cymbals, but you want to get it's nice to get a good clipping sound going on that kick. Almost clipping or clipping. I won't tell you how often I'd see my brother or buddies in rock doing the clip on the kick. Even on the recording, before you're mixing it in the digital audio workstation, right there in the input, clipping it. And you know what? You can't undo it, but you might need to do it to get that proper sound. I do think it happened a lot in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s in such a level. Even in the pro studios, they did it enough, they did it a lot, and so that we've become accustomed to that, and a lot of us like that, especially us in the hard rock region. We like that just about clipped sound on that kick, that meaty sound. There's an instrumental, a lot of tremolo, very cool. This instrumental is called Swamp. I thought he was singing, it was so instrumental right there. I was like, is it, what's that? Oh. Anybody remember that Puddle of Mudd did that song about a girl? Let's talk about that. He did this cover of About a Girl, and it was like, and it was just, it was out of his range, right? Only by a couple notes, right? And he got a lot of shit. He got a lot more dislikes than likes. And a lot of shit for that. I noticed Stevie T on YouTube, a guitar YouTuber, threw some shade on it today, finally watched it, and was just like, what? Cool reaction video, even though it was 20% commercial for NordVPN. What the fuck is that? I'm getting tired of the NordVPN commercials and the Ridge Wallet commercials in everybody's YouTube videos. Just get the fuck out of my YouTube videos. Ask them to do it like this. Ask them to go, just put a link. What's up? Is that what they're trying to do? Make a living on YouTube? Get a fucking job, guys. Holy fuck. Think about this. Let's say you do YouTube as long as Rhett and Link, and it's all guitar stuff. 10 years of that. You just lost 10 years of working experience and set your working experience back 10 years. That is if it doesn't work out. If you get a little guitarologist going on, and you start going downhill. Oh. Right? New strings. New string day is like, that's one of the musicians' best days ever. Man, it's new string day. Woohoo! Oh man, I usually put the new strings on like a day or two before I go to use them for real too. You wouldn't want to put them on. You wouldn't want to put new strings on right before you go into your one day in the recording studio that morning. Oh God, you'll be tuning a bunch. You'll get halfway through a song and you'll be recording parts and be like, wait, is that out of tune? Hey, when did that get out of tune? Oh, headache. So that being said, do respect and heed my warning. Play like 10 songs or 5 songs on them first, or just jam on them for a couple hours. Then it'll still be crispy. Don't worry, they'll still be crispy. Don't go grabbing them with pizza fingers, you know, the greasy fingers. Don't be taking a shower and coming in with wrinkle fingers and depositing water into the core of the strings. Don't be dipping it in the... Don't be going and playing in the sauna first thing. Don't go jam outside in the rain while you're having your cigarette with your new strings. Keep them in a nice dry spot. Keep them in a nice dry, well-regulated spot, away from the heaters and away from all that shit, like in a closet or in a case. And then... What? That sounds horrible, dude. That sounds horrible. How would you do that? That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Damn. I always inserted mine in to the hole in the center of the peg and then gave it a wound. You know what I mean? And I would just leave it all on there for years. It wasn't until I got more and more comfortable with it that I started cutting them shorter and shorter and shorter. I mean, let me show you how short I do it now. Here's my low E right here. It's going around, but it's not going around a whole time. It's coming out here, around. So it's like, it's coming off here, and it's starting there. It's like a crescent moon. A whole third of the peg doesn't even have any string on it, right? And now the higher two, they got 1.5 or 2 turns. This one here's got 1 turn, but the low E, for some reason, I feel it's just better. First time changing bass strings, then there you go. I can't say I haven't done it, and I have done it. Another thing I do is I know I like to keep a certain amount because if I break a string on something else, sometimes I don't want to put a whole new set on something else. So I'll take these and I'll put it on that. But that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So these need to be longer. And I keep that in mind when I do this stuff so that if in case I break something, like I break a string on that, I don't want to put a new set on that. These are only 6 months old. I'll put those on that and I'll buy a new set for this. See, so that's why I'll keep this one a bit longer, this one a lot bit longer, and this one a super lot bit longer. It's a lot bit. See what I mean? Like these guys, they're like this. So it's got to be longer, longer, longer. And see, this is I did these strings. These are a fretless string on a fretless bass. I did these maybe 10 years ago. It's fretless. It doesn't need to have snap. It just doesn't need to have snap. It's a different sound, right? That has so much extra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. So yeah. Fretless bass. You can't hear it. You can't hear it. It doesn't even do the slap sound. You can hear it when there's no sound going, I guess. Let's skip on back to the bottom of your truck since the album is over. DR Weather's in the house. What's up? I found you and Ziploc at the same time. I found you. I came across you on BandLab at the same time. You guys still work together? You guys still know each other? Did you ever know each other? Was that just in my head? Did Ziploc say go look at DR Weathers, or DR Weathers say go look at Ziploc? Quinn, didn't I already do a whole blog to you? I want to know, did I or not? I do not remember because I'm at 355, and sometimes I do multiple artists. I'm at easily 1,000 artists. Oh, careful there, guy. I'm about to plug your shit. Oh man, when I turn around, you can see how fat and wide my back is. Looks like I'm out of weight, out of shape or something. I don't think I am. Dude, I weigh the same as I did at the end of high school right now, 182. Whatever. Yeah. Now everybody knows about you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure I'll feature you again on a Metal Monday. Metal Monday is where the repetition sets in for some reason. Next week, in 2 days, I'm going to be featuring Liam Mail 03. If you don't know Liam, he's around your age, maybe a few years older than you, but he's been on here since he was around your age, I believe, maybe 17, 18. I'll have to go tune into your progressive shit. Hey, Luella's got a little Christmas tree behind me. Bring it here, I want to see. Show everybody. Come in here. Come on in here. Well, come show everybody. Yeah, show it, Larry, on the camera. No, you want to pick your nose instead? Okay. Look at this, it's a living tree. It's alive. It's alive! I don't think all the presents are going to fit under this tree, Julianne. But it's beautiful. I like it, it looks very good. I'll make a little bit of amino acid root accelerator water for it. Now we're gonna get 3 trees. We're gonna be planting in our yard, I guess. Whichever one does the best in the pot, at least, is getting planted in the yard. Liam soloed on one of your songs, so you're familiar with the badass, are you? Your tree's fake. That tree's real. My wife's full of good ideas. We had a tree that was like it was like leaning and then correcting itself, and very, very, very vibrant. Not even a single one of the lowest branches has ever fallen off of this tree. I cut a couple of them off to give us more room to walk underneath of it. And the next thing you know, they come over and they evaluate the tree as dying or dangerous and about to fall. What are you talking about? It's not tall enough to have even a risk for that. And they cut our tree down. And I have a distinct feeling the landlord has family members that own a tree service company, because it seems like they go around here and they cut down like 5 to 10 trees every year. And every time they do that, I go around to the people, I'm like, how was that tree to you? Did you think it was good? Oh, I thought it was a great, vibrant tree. It shed tons of leaves and never having branches fall. They just say, oh yeah, let's give them this many jobs. It's money to spend. I don't like that kind of behavior. That's a bad economic behavior. Kirk 598? I don't even know who that is, bro. I gotta go look them up right now. I'll put them on. I'll make a new list because I just hit 50 on my list. Collections, new blog list 28. If you look up the word blog list in collections, you can see. You should be able to see my blog lists. Blog list 28. That's a lot of lists. Collection settings. Choose a picture from my library. Oh, yeah. There's a picture, a Lego guy picture I made of myself. And I'm gonna use that one. He's holding the guitar. There we go. Oh wait, settings again, one more time. I want to put the description. Songs to be featured on the blog. Very well. Yeah, I'm gonna go to his page, take the topmost track, put it in the blog list, and go listen to him on the blog. Why not? I trust your judgment, DR. Dr. Withers. Black Hole. I like this one. Let's see. Mr. Kirk. Kirk. K-I-R-K. I'm from Kirkland, by the way. It's where my parents lived most of my life. Good chunk. They don't live there anymore. There we go. Followed him. Go to his page. See how blindly followed. There's a nice instrumentals by Kirk. 23 page. 23 tracks on that. So here we go. Add to collection. 20,000 plays. That must have got featured, or he must self-play. 20,000 plays. 53. Well, 28 projects that had to be featured. 53 likes. The Keeper. Damn, 20,000 plays, huh? I gotta play my own shit over and over on multiple devices to get that many plays. Currently, we're listening to Lobotomy Truck. You can find him at bandlab.com/ALF, like Alf, 0. Alf 0. Well, he featured Nurse November 2nd in a post. And I did Nurse on the page a little bit ago, so we must have common tastes. He featured a cool little live jam. Nurse did. Nurse is N-E-R-S-E. This is so grunge. This is so black metal. Grunge. Doom style. It's called Black Hole. I'll just say it's Space Doom, even though it's probably Space Doom grunge. Where did I get my guitars? Let me tell you, one at a time. Pawn shop. Pawn shop. Pawn shop. Guitar Center, and then painted by a girlfriend. Guitar Center used for $40, then heavily modified by me with $300 more dollars of work. My dad's friend that he knows all the way from high school and junior high. Guitar Center. A guy on Craigslist for $195. My uncle bought me the Warlock. You can't see it. Iceman. Wife bought it for $200. Pawn shop. And that's my sponsored guitar. The Canoni Keen in the back there, the black one, it's kind of hidden behind the mic. And that one, I bought direct from the manufacturers at a heavily, like 1/5 the price they sell them for, or less. It's a $1,000+ guitar. I got it for less than 1/5 of that. We heard this one, I think. It doesn't seem like Trump ever did a single thing that was fascist the whole time he was in office. From what I seen, he never did any gun comments. But the only thing he did to fuck with your guns was a ban on butt stops, certain types on certain weapons. Nothing. Who cares? Wasn't like Bush making it illegal to sell clips online and shit like that. Clips, things that would hold a bullet, can't even sell them on like eBay and crap like that. So he deregulated, so he probably ain't the fascist. You see all those regulations, those mandates? Whoever's for a mandate of wearing a mask is a fucking fascist.
Can't you see it's not the system failing? Rather, it was never made for us.
Dude, it is not a system failure. It's us failing. People are accountable, and people like to go home and watch TV and look at their phones and be playing on BandLab when they should be working their ass off, building dams, building nuclear power plants, and going to college and trying to get smarter. Instead, they're like, what can I do to escape work? What do you talk about escape work? The only thing we do on this planet with dignity is work our ass off. The rest is just bullshit. There's no dignity in anything else. Sorry, but if it isn't going to be feeding mankind's future, it's just fodder, bullshit, foreign debris. I'm not trying to harsh on you, but I'm just saying this is my reality on my take on it. Somebody on the BandLab page asked, where'd you get your guitars? So I had to answer it. Why not? Giveaway guitars? I bought a guitar for a friend of mine. Well, my wife really paid for it. But we got a guitar for a friend of mine who was struggling. Had a serious car accident, had to move back to Virginia where he's from, missing his life over here in Seattle, missing his kids and wife, ended up getting a divorce, ended up getting clean, sent him a guitar, ended up getting back on drugs, died of an overdose. It was like a little, he was in the hospital, in and out of the hospital a lot, so it was like a little small guitar, probably like $150, $100 or something. Like a mini Jackson. Give away a guitar. Go earn a guitar. My dad didn't buy me shit, he made me earn it. But he just helped me go buy it because I was too young to buy something. I was too young to go make that purchase and not know I wasn't going to get screwed. He had to be like the inspector on the deal and, and all that. And it kind of came as guidance. And, helped make it happen. I think he threw $20 down or something. But I had to save the other 100 or whatever. And then after I did that, he was like, good job. Let's go get some strings and a strap. Oh, heck yeah, cool. You need a music book? Let me sign you up for lessons. I had to show the initiative. You go get the fucking guitar on your own, and then I'll give you tips any day and any time you ask. But I'm not buying you your fucking guitar. My first guitar, let's show it to you. Here it is. It was in translucent blue, and this is not the actual one because the actual one I had was a one-step lower model. It was a bronze from like 99 or 97 or something like that. It was like a bronze version, right, of this guitar, and it had not the nice widow stock, but the pointy Jackson style one. And about a week and a half into it, me and my Uncle Tom got it. My Uncle Tom paid for like half of it or whatever. As a birthday present, he paid for like $100 towards the guitar, and I saved the rest. And it was like a $250 guitar. And he was like, "You sure you want this one?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay." I got it. I brought it home. It was a black one. And a couple weeks into chugging, I'm going from E to E flat. I get into E flat for load, trying to play some load songs. And while I'm drop tuning it from E down, it snaps right here. Big chunk of wood hit me in the face. Had a big old mark from it. My Uncle Tom comes over the next time he gets a chance after work. We go into the Guitar Center. We're like, "Dude, we want a refund for this. We want our money back. We want a different one." They're like, "We don't have any more of those." And then my Uncle Tom started finagling and ganaggling and banagling back. We ended up with a translucent blue one for only $40 more when it was a $200 more guitar. And he threw those $40 down. And I'll always owe my Uncle Tom, Boeing employee and badass uncle of mine, for a lot of influence on my artistic side. This is my first guitar. My first instrument's actually a bass. I started on bass, and it's that black and yellow striped one. It was originally all black. I converted it to a 5-string and painted it silver with my dad in green and purple color-changing chrome illusion flames with a purple pinstripe. Just like the Robert Trujillo, just like that Robert Trujillo guitar he's got in Metallica from like 2003, 2004, just like that, looked just like that. And I sanded it down. My dad caught me sanding it down. I was like, "What are you doing?" He was pretty sad and disappointed because we spent a lot of time on that. But hey, man, I wanted it to look different, and I regret it. I wish it looked back how it did now, the way it used to look, but whatever. I was changing it from 5-string back to 4-string, and because it wasn't quite right as a 5-string. It was a 4-string as a 5-string, so it wasn't quite right. And whatever. It looks good. It's still cool. It's been used like this. It's got a lot of history in the Seattle area, and people recognize it all the time as a bass from a different band. So that's cool. A guy used to borrow it in his band and played show after show with it. So I finally fixed the tuning peg on his A-string tuner because I got tired of him borrowing my shit. That's alright, he borrowed my bass. I gave him a ride to every show. He didn't have a license until he was 28 years old. And yeah, he unfriended me because we got different views. Whatever. That's not a friend right now. Whatever, I'll always love him, like I said yesterday. We're back on some tracks we've already heard. We're on the repeat cycle now. Fan the Flames featuring Sean Smith. Oh, that's a wrong user. The wrong user. I'm not going to do that until a different show. We got to go back to the right user. I was on the wrong page here. Oops. Go to artist. I'm not trying to do multi-artist page today. What are you doing? Bury me. Let's see how this one is. We already hear this one or not? Leave a like on it. I'm allowed to mess up. It's my blog. Dropping chips. That was cool. I've modified every one of my guitars since buying them except for my Iceman, but it came with Seymour Duncan's from the 80s already in it. It was already ready modified. My RG321 mahogany, I put a Dimebucker in that and a Bridge 59, so it's like a dime bag setup. The Warlock I was just showing you is an alternate 8 by Seymour Duncan, a Pegasus by Seymour Duncan, and a Sentient by Seymour Duncan. I modified the basses. One's got EMGs, the white one, the fretless, and the stripe one has Seymour Duncan quarter-pounders in it. As you can see, that one guitar's got its custom paint job from an ex-girlfriend, first girlfriend of mine. Just some small hardware changes on the Batman guitar that's hiding back there. Massive changes to that $40 Geo. Sustainer, sludge pickup, vintage rails pickup next to it. Used to have lights in it. One knob is the volume, the other knob is the swell speed of the sustainer. Then it has a coil split for that bridge pickup. Even my guitar from Canoni Keen sponsorship has custom setup in it. It's got a jazz on the neck. What is it, a jazz? Let me think. It's not a jazz. What is it in the neck? I'm gonna have to look it up. I can't remember now for some damn reason. but it's got the Alnico 2 slash style pickup in the bridge. Something else kind of vintagey in the neck. I can't remember what it is. It might be the Jazz. I'm in this heavy metal amps and pedals page on Facebook. This guy's got a PV Ultra 120, a PV Supreme, a PV VTM 880, a PV Ultra 80 solid state, two 5150s, 6505, and I can't see what that one is. Is it Triple X or something like that? No. Invective. And an Invective. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guitar heads. PV guitar heads. But then he's got no PV cabs. He's got a Mesa 212 cab and an Engel 412 cab. But dude, he's got a lot of PVs. He must be a fan of PV. First guitar amp I had was a PV. Second guitar amp I had was a PV. Third guitar amp I had was a PV. Fourth guitar amp I had was a PV. Fifth guitar amp I had was a PV. Sixth guitar amp I had was a VHT Pippo Ultra Lead. And when I got that, I stayed with that for 10 solid years. Now I'm playing with a Line 6 preamp sets going into the power amp of VHT 292, which is 290 watt amps in one, so it can be played in stereo. And I record in stereo. What amp do you use? What's your favorite microphone? Am I losing my mind? Oops, sorry about that. Oh, dang it. Wrong track. Looks like this is the last track we got. We'll just play it one more time. Nice. Yeah. I was a hater of Line 6 for a long time. Every time I saw someone with a Line 6, I was just like, God. And I saw a guy one time where he had two of them in stereo pointed a certain way, and he was a lead guitarist in the band, and he blew me away by just making them sound good. They were fucking spider amps, right? And I just really never saw one I liked. My wife got this one for me, and I figured out what a bunch of those Line 6 guys were doing wrong. They had shitty power amps in those, so any Line 6 that's Bugera made or Bugera power amps, Bugera makes them sound great, first off. Then second off, if you take the preamp of a Line 6 and you put it into the power amp of a nicer amp, you're going to get way better tones. And then maybe one of those aux amps or whatever. And then last thing to be said, they have these settings on there where you can like turn on delay and reverb. Those need to be adjusted way down. They need to be way down, otherwise it sounds like you're in a fucking tunnel, dude. And that was what I would see, is that people would sound like they're in a tunnel. And they'd be live and they'd be sound like they're in a tunnel. It's like, whoa, man, you sound like your amp's way, way back in some other city. And so, I thought there was not a good redeeming quality about them until I had one on my own and I made them work right. I took all the preamps and all the cabinet settings and all the mic settings and I turned them off. on my pod. And then I just take that preamp only style. I'll make all my sounds with preamp sounds, not with the regular sounds, the preamp only sounds. And then I send those out into a real power amp and into a real cab, and it sounds amazing. Speakers are huge on your sound. I can take this same amp and plug it into my V30's 212, totally different sounds. In fact, I have a whole bank of sounds that just that are all the sounds that I made with this cab that sound better with that cab because they're modified for that cab. I had to tweak things, take the bass up a little bit, take the highs down a little bit, that kind of thing. Crate 120H head, I blew two of those. I blew an Ampeg head that had a 5-year warranty, and they gave me new speakers, and I blew it again, and they gave me new speakers, and I blew it again, and they got pissed off at me. And they gave me new speakers, but said, this is the last time. We don't make those anymore. Just try something else. That was with my Supreme 160, PV Supreme 160, 160 watts going into a 200 watt Ampeg amp. What's that smell? Oh man, it's getting really quiet. Oh, what's that smell? Oh, no more sound. What happened, Chris? I don't know. I think my power amp died. Well, guys, that's a show. That's IdiOtBlog 355. The music has stopped, so that means it's over. You guys got to go make your own tunes. Glad you all came. Hope you guys have a nice night. See you around, guys.